All right, welcome back to another edition of Sling Paint Gaming. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. We had Blake talking about the Tennessee Regionals, but we lost connection. But I had another topic that I wanted to discuss. And before I start this topic, which is about the Pattern Analyzer Tech Upgrade card, the previous video that we did related to that whole TIE FO swarm, the mini swarm, I actually made a mistake. I actually said something that was wrong. This happens from time to time, and I'm going to fess up to it. And I actually did so much research on this, and I hope I got this right. So, I mean, basically, I was looking at a lot of different forums, a lot of the rules, and what have you, and I did a whole breakdown on this card itself, Pattern Analyzer. I actually misunderstood one part, especially about the whole how it ties with push the limit and what have you. So for X-Wing, what we want to do is talk about Panel Analyzer. I actually put a link down in the comments below, I'm sorry, in the description below, that goes to our community forum that actually gives my whole entire write-up, and we're actually going to talk about that as, right off the bat here. All right, so Pattern Analyzer, right? It's this card that um let's do this. I'm gonna try to pull this up if I can. Come on, computer. Computer. Let's see if this is gonna work for me here today. Panel analyzer. I'm gonna bring this over. I'm gonna show you guys. There we go. Let's bring that up. All right, so let's switch screens. Let's see. All right, there's the Pattern Analyzer card itself right there. All right, so this whole card was actually a lot of debate on the previous video's comments that we had. So it reads, when executing a maneuver, you may resolve the check pilot stress step after the perform action step instead of before that step. And it's 2 points, it's a tech upgrade. And this card, when we were talking about it, I actually, like I said, I misstated in the video and basically how push the limit. What I said in the video was that if you had push the limit and you get the stress, um, how does it help with with push the limit? Does it remove if you do a green maneuver? Does it remove the stress? What have you? And what I said was wrong. So this is actually how it works. So I did this whole discussion thing. I did a breakdown of this, and we guys can talk about it, and we can also talk about some ships and what what other slots it has and what other capabilities. But so panelizers again, when executing a maneuver, you may resolve the check pilot stress step after you perform that. Yeah, I can speak today. Step after the perform action step instead of before that step. So what some people were thinking was is it like a tycho ability where you could just have endless amounts of stress on it and you could still do your action. It's not, though. It would be cool if it did, but it's not. So the rub in the rules is after executing during the activation phase for your ship has this card. So this is the. I'm not gonna go through all the activation phase rules here, but I actually copied the rules itself. All right. So the whole activation phase is when you reveal your dial, then you have execute your maneuver, right? And then there's these other sub steps of step number 2, executing maneuvers. You got your move ship, you got your check pilot stress, that's the one I highlighted in bold because that's the one we got to talk about. Then it's cleanup. All right, return the templates and what have you outside of play area. Then there's the perform action step, right? But then there's this part right here on 3, on this the step 3 here, perform action, which is the letter C. It says a stress ship cannot execute a red maneuvers or perform actions if a stress ship reveals a red maneuver. And cannot use the game effect to rotate its dial to a non-red maneuver. Instead, the owner moves his ship as if it was a 2 white maneuver. That was one of the new FAQ rules that came out recently about that. So compared, because what the original text that was in the manual actually said that you would actually give your dial to your opponent and your dial picks your maneuver. Now they updated to be a 2 maneuver instead. All right, so this is where the thing is here, right? So what basically the bold sections above is where the card's referencing. Again, that's what I'm kind of saying. And also note that the card says you may, okay, keywords may, so you don't have to resolve the card text. And there's situations where you might not want to resolve the card text. All right, and so this is the situations here as far as the how it's stressed and if you're unstressed and what happens. So if you are stressed, let's say you are stressed right off the bat, right? And you're about to do a maneuver, right? So stress, and you reveal a white maneuver, so you don't get any action because I can speak pattern analyzer. I'm just going to say PA cannot be used because of 3C, because 3C says a stress ship cannot execute a red maneuver or perform actions. All right, so right off the bat, even if you do have a white maneuver and you stress, you're automatically just, you cannot perform any actions whatsoever. Now, the next condition, if you're stressed and you reveal a green maneuver, okay, you get an action. And let me tell you why. A stress is cleared from the green maneuver that you did, but you do not use pattern analyzer's text or keywords. So remember, it said may on the card. So you don't want to use pattern analyzer because of the normal effects of what a green maneuver does. Because again, you actually check your pilot's stress. If the maneuver is red, and this is step 2B, if the maneuver is red, assign one stress token to your ship. If the maneuver is green, remove one stress token from your ship. Then you go to step 3 to perform your action. So if you stress and you reveal a green maneuver and you have pattern analyzer as one of your upgrades, you don't execute the text. Again, it's keyword may. Now, if you're stressed and you do a red maneuver, you can just go to the gates of hell because you can't do that. You shouldn't be doing a red maneuver when you're stressed. That's just a no-no. But this what actually happens is you do a 2x4 because of 3C, no actions. You don't get any actions whatsoever. Again, because you're already stressed. Now, if you are unstressed, okay, so you don't have any stress on you whatsoever, and you reveal a white or a green maneuver, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't really matter. You get your action. Okay, you get your normal action, and pattern analyzer doesn't kick in. So just that's okay. Now, if you are unstressed, okay, and you reveal a red maneuver, this is what the card was all about. Pattern analyzer kicks in here. You get the action as you're flipping the steps 2B and 3. Again, 2B was check the pilot stress, and 3 was perform action. So you're actually flipping those two on itself. So therefore, you actually get the action. And since you were already unstressed, 3C, which is you can't perform actions if you're red no matter what, you don't. So you're not stressed already. So you get that. So you get your action because they're flipping those two steps. Now, running through debris. Okay. Debris is an interesting situation here because debris happens, it says, after the check pilot stress step. Okay, you receive one stress token. All right. So if you now keep that in mind with the steps and how everything works here. Actually, hold on. I gotta actually let my cat use the bathroom. All right, I'm back. Did anybody see my wife sleeping out behind me here because she's out unconscious? All right, sorry about that. I had to do my cat real fast. He had to go use the bathroom. All right, so the debris cloud. All right, the debris, because it's after the check pilot step stress, your ship receives one stress token. So same as above if you're stressed. So if you're already stressed, right, and you're going through a debris cloud, you get no actions. It's the same thing. Now, if you are unstressed and you did a green maneuver, you declare pattern analyzer because you want to use its effect. So you're actually switching the steps. So therefore, you declare pattern analyzer, you perform your action, even though you went over debris field, because you received a stress token for debris, right? But then you remove the stress token because it was a green maneuver, because you're doing the check pilot stress steps, you're flipping two steps. So actually running through debris is actually going to help you if you have panel analyzer on it. So you don't get the stress if you're doing a green maneuver. Now, if you're unstressed and you're doing a white maneuver through debris, you declare pattern analyzer, right? You perform your action. Again, you're flipping the two steps there, but then you still receive a stress token. All right, so you still get the stress token no matter what, but at least you get your action. So pattern analyzer helps you there as well. So it helps you again if you're unstressed and you reveal a red maneuver, you do your action, or if you go through debris, right, and you have a white maneuver, you still get your action. So you're good both ways. All right. And now here's where it gets interesting. This is where I was wrong on the previous video. So push the limit reads this: once per round after you perform an action, right, you may perform one free action shown in your action bar, then receive one stress token. All right, so the only benefit that you have out of this is if you do a green maneuver, you declare pattern analyzer, you do your normal action first, then you do your push the limit action, you receive the stress because of push the limit, but then you remove the stress because Pana Analyzer again flips the steps 2B and C. And again, 2B is the step where you're actually checking the pilot's stress. And it says if the maneuver is red, assign one stress token to the ship. If the maneuver is green, you remove a stress token. So since you perform the action step first, then you did push the limit, you got the stress token there, then you check the pilot's stress. And then if it was a green maneuver, you actually get to remove that stress. So how killer is that? So I was wrong in the video, but this is the way it is. I broke it all down in the links below. It was a Yes, John Cougar Conger says your wife must be the heaviest sleeper on the earth. Yes, she is. But that's all the steps on that. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody's aware of that. That, like I said, I made a mistake, but this is the breakdown. I looked at multiple forums. I looked at the rules, copied the rules, put this all together so you guys can understand the situation. But it actually can benefit you a lot for Pan Analyzer, and again, for 2 points. I mean, you can't beat that, right? All right, so let me go back to my screen here. Actually, before I go to the screen, um, what you can put, where can you put Pan Analyzer on, right? So Pan Analyzer can go, it's a tech upgrade. It can be outfitted with the T70, the TIE FO, the TIE SF, the new quad jumper that hasn't been released yet, and also the new Upsilon class shuttle, which hasn't been released yet. So you can actually do those 5 ships and put that tech upgrade of the pattern analyzer, and it'll fit. It'll be perfect. And it does come with the Heroes of the Resistance of Expansion pack, the pattern analyzer card. So you have to buy that big, huge expansion pack, but I believe it comes with 2, if I remember correctly. I think it does come with 2. I could be wrong, but the cool part about it is what I like because it's on the T70s. So I've been really thinking about lists with T70s and trying to outfit this out, and maybe I can make something happen. And I was looking at a lot of a forum posts and what have you about Poe Dameron or Elo Asti, a lot of different combinations that you can do. And actually, we're going to build a list out and show you this whole list and actually go through it and kind of show you some of the shenanigans that you can play. And I'm actually happy that I learned about the whole PTL thing. And I'm actually love you guys a lot because you guys keep me honest and you put in the comments and you corrected me. And I wanted to make sure that you guys, a huge shout out to you guys. All right, so I'm going to look at the stream here because you guys got a lot of different things on the stream that you guys are talking. Um, let's see here. Yep. John says, Burrow, your wife must be the heaviest sleeper on earth. She is. She is a sleep. Zeke says, howdy. Armando says, R2 Astromech, pattern analyzer, PTL on any T70. And again, we're going to build that out. Steve says, I'm putting it on a quad jumper. Yes. And Jacob says, wow, 2 nights in a row. Yes, we're going to do 2 nights in a row because I'm sitting here and it's friggin' freezing outside and there's snow on the ground. Or John goes, Armando, I was about to say maybe 3 Red Squad vets. I was thinking the same thing. But I'm not sure. We got to figure out the points, but we'll see. But we're going to build this out. I want to build this out. Armando says, I tested that on knee nub and snap Wexley knee nub. Vulcan says, Vulcan Raven, who actually did a nice write-up after my post here on our forums, he actually said Upsilon, Fleet Officer, Pattern Analyzer, Collision Detector, have that in the forum. Yep. Armando says snap is really nasty. And Brian says Elo, but yeah, I know. All right, so let's go right to the list here. I'm going to bring this over. Let's see if I can. Come on. There we go. All right, let's bring that over. So this is the article again. If you guys want to definitely take a look at that. All right, so I'm going to go into the squad builder here, and I'm going to go right to my favorite ship in the whole wide world, the T-7. Oh, I'm in the wrong. I'm in Scum, but here we go. Now, Rebel, T-70 X-Wing. So right off the bat, I'm actually going to I'm just going to go right with Poe Dameron. I'm going to go with him, the 33 point, and I want to do Now this is going to be an expensive ship, but let's just do push the limit. I have R2 astromech, which is going to help me with all my green maneuvers. So all 1 and 2 speed green maneuvers, because that's going to help me with the whole push the limit. I'm going to do the tech upgrade of pattern analyzer. Right now, this doesn't give me the effect of R2 astromech helping with regen. And Poe Dameron, you really want to do some kind of regen. You can do R2 astromech, but it gets pricey when you start putting R2D2 on. Right, after executing green maneuver, you may recover 1 shield, so that can help out for shield regen. Or you can do the R5P9, which uses Poe Dameron's ability, which is the focus token, and and then push the limit. You can actually target lock or boost, or actually focus. And if you want to focus, I would definitely take a focus because you can use R5P9 to help you out. But if you do R2D2, all right, you get the shield regen of the R2D2 if you do a green maneuver. And if you do pattern analyzer with push the limit and you do a green maneuver the next turn, if you do that 1 boost, 1 straight, or 2 straight, or 3 straight, you actually can relieve the stress just how pattern analyzer works. Again, because you're flipping the 2 steps. All right, that's what I was looking at. The other thing was if we actually did another T70 and we actually did, where is it, Red Squad Vet with PTL up, and actually you would do integrated astromech on that as well because that's a free upgrade. Put PTL, right, and let's do tech upgrade, pattern analyzer, R2 astromech to help out, integrated astromech, right? For 32 points, you actually can get 3 of those bad boys if you wanted to. You have 4 points left, so if you wanted to do some shenanigans with maybe some seismic torpedoes to help out, or whatever the case may be, or you can possibly boost up because you get Red Squad Vet is at 26 points. I can probably put Snap on 1, and maybe Blue Ace, take his ability with the push the limit. Or I can do, actually, you know what? If I did that, actually, no, I need to do knee nub because I don't get pushed the limit. Actually, no, I'm over the mark here. All right, so I can't do that. But this, or I can do just Papa and keep them in the squadron right next to each other. 6 points left. But I mean, there's some options here. And actually, I probably want to give this list a run, even if it's Red Squad Vets, or just running Snap Wexley, just Pava, and play with some other points in some other spot here. But the only problem is just Pava doesn't get the elite slot. That's the only thing. If I choose the Blue Ace, that doesn't have an elite slot. So there's so many options now with push the limit and pattern analyzer that you can help out. And for 2 points, like I said, I mean, it's a great cost. And if you're doing a green maneuver, and especially if you have the R2 astromech, that really opens up your green maneuvers, and you can actually push the limit for almost basically for free. I hate to say it for free, but with pattern analyzer, you can get that. Now, you got to be careful with stress mechanics, and if any like a Saj, or if you're playing against a stress hog or what have you, you got to keep that in the back of your mind. But it's just, I mean, that's a nasty thing that you can set up. And if you're doing the R2 astromech with the integrated astromech, I always fly my integrated astromech. It's 0 points. If I'm doing Poe Dameron, I might, instead of integrated astromech, I might put auto thrusters on. I mean, to give them some, to keep alive, basically, if I'm doing the whole regen with R2D2. So there's some options there you can do. But, I mean, pan analyzer would push the limit. I'm gonna say it. It goes together like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, especially if you got some green maneuvers to relieve that stress, you could do that, relieve that stress in the same turn. I mean, that's just huge. All right, so let's. I don't know if I can do, but let's do this. I'm gonna switch to the Thai not Thai Striker, Thai SFO, and I'm also gonna pull up a Thai SF. All right, they both get the tech upgrade, so let's put panel analyzer on both of these bad boys, and let's play what you can do here with this. So I'm just gonna go right to a Mega Leader. Use the whole calm juke and relay, but again, if you do the push the limit version, kind of how what Matt had yesterday, you can actually let's do push the limit. So push the limit here. If I wanted to do tie SF, I could do push the limit on here as well. With quick draw's ability, once per round, when you lose a shield token, you may perform a primary weapon attack. That might be nice, especially with push the limit, because if you want to focus and target lock, you have some options if you're doing another attack. If you run title, the special ops, if you want to run shield upgrade, I mean, it gets pricey for a 40-point ship, but it's not bad. Especially when you're running the title card, which when attacking with your primary weapon, you get an extra additional attack die. So that's pretty nice. So that actually works out actually very nice. And when Pana Analyzer push the limit, it actually works very well. So Mega Leader, all these other guys with push the limit. I mean, anything that has an elite upgrade that gives you that push the limit with Pana Analyzer, that definitely helps you out and works there too as well. Give quick draw baffle. Yes, electronic baffle. All right, and it says when you receive a stress token or an ion token, you may suffer 1 damage to discard that token. Now, with Pattern Analyzer, again, it's a may, so if you want to keep that stress, for whatever reason, let's say you're moving, because quick draw is a 9, okay, so you'll be moving last. And this gives you options, like if you want to keep the stress on you and then take the damage, right, for electronic baffle, that's actually that helps you out, because again, quick draw's ability is once per round when you lose a shield token, you may perform a primary weapon attack. So this, if you look at it, with push the limit, you get the stress, right? Electronic baffle, when you receive a stress token or an ion token, you may suffer 1 damage card. And the key thing is when you receive a stress token, so you can fire quick draw in the activation phase because of that. That's a crazy setup there that you can have. Let's do this. Looking at the feed here, it says how many. Vulcan says Jess is the best for a swarm leader using that I've found so far. I agree with you. Jess is actually great. She has a great ability. Jeffrey Dusome says how many prototype pilots with Shardian could you fit in a squad with Jess? I think it's yeah, and then John says right next to it says Jess, and I think it's 3 A's. Jacob says give quick draw baffle. It's nuts. It is nuts, especially with that stress token. If you want pattern analyzer on there, because let's say you need to maneuver yourself in a special way, that's up to you for 2 points. You can change it to something else that might help you out. Jeffrey says Zuvio is going to be in so much fun. Vulcan says you can fit 3 Green Squadron pilots outfitted nicely with Jess. Yep. Jacob says it feeds his ability perfectly. Absolutely, yeah. Electronic Baffle does feed his ability perfectly. John Cougar says expertise, Shardian title, Predator, make a 24-point Green Squadron pilot. Right, that will help out Jess, and you can put Pattern Analyzer on Jess. Actually, no, you can put it on her, but you're not going to get the stress token because she doesn't have an elite slot. So you can't do push the limit, if I recall. I think that's the only thing. Yeah, just Pava doesn't have the elite slot. So you can put Pattern Analyzer. It will definitely help out with some of the stress mechanics if you do get stressed or run through a debris field. But it doesn't have the elite slot, so you can't do the push the limit and Pattern Analyzer shenanigans. All right, so we did some Rebel Alliance. We did some Galactic Empire. Now we're going to do some Scum and Villainy. So I don't know, it does have the quad jumper. Now I'm not sure if it has all the ships, but let's take a look here. So Zuvio, all right, and I think Zuvio is going to be so much fun. I agree with you. It says when you reveal a reverse maneuver, which is still insane. I can't wait to actually see this ship being played. That you can actually go in reverse. You may drop a bomb using your front guides, including a bomb with an action header. So if you did pan an analyzer and you wanted to do push the limit, now key thing with push the limit and bombs, what a lot of people always forget, and this is very, very important. Look what it says on push the limit. Once per round, you may perform an action. You may, after you perform an action, you may perform 1 free action shown in your action bar. Okay, so when you do a bomb that says action, this does not add it to your action bar. So you have to do this action first, then whatever other action you want to do after that. So keep that in mind. That is huge. A lot of people forget that with push the limit, you can just take two actions and I can outfit any actions I want. No, it's gotta the second action has to be on your action bar. So make sure you're aware of that. Um, The other thing is with plank, you get when defending instead of using your agility value, you may roll a number of defensive dice equal to the speed of the maneuver you executed this round. Um, so that again, some weird ass shenanigans. I like that. I mean, this whole quad jumper is just going to change a lot of different things here. It's just going to be insane. It really is. I mean, think about it. A ship that can go in reversed. Now it doesn't have any shields, but it's pretty beefy. Five hull. That's not that bad. I like that. But it does have a lot of shenanigans, and it's got a crazy maneuver dial. I mean, if you guys can see that on the bottom right there, look at that maneuver dial. It's just like all over the place, and I love how it's got the backwards one boost and one straight. That's just interesting. Love it. All right, so getting back to Galactic Empire, the other ship that you can actually do, yep, it does have it, Upsilon class shuttle. All right, you have the Kylo Ren. The first time you were hit by an attack round, deal the I show you the dark side. Condition to the attacker. Again, you can put pattern analyzer on him as well. If you want to do the shenanigans with push the limit, you can, but I mean, this is it's maybe it's if not the same dial a little bit as the regular shuttle, but let's pull up the regular shuttle so you guys can see it. It's got more outs compared to two. If you guys can see that, let me move this up a little bit. So that's the Lambda class shuttle. That's their Upsilon class shuttle. You can see the difference in maneuvers. It's got the one hard and the three hard, which is pretty nice. But this actual Upsilon class shuttle can do the panel analyzer too as an upgrade, so you can have some crazy ass shenanigans with this as well. Now with the ability, the actions you have a focus, target lock, and coordinate. Okay, so with the coordinate action with push the limit, you can actually do some shenanigans that way as well. So you can actually also, let's say if we go to Major Strident. Major Strident does not have the elite slot, so you got to keep that in mind. So the only one that does is Kylo Ren. So if you want to do the combination of push the limit and pattern analyzer, but it does there, so you can do a lot of different things. And then you have Major Strident for the purpose of your actions and upgrade cards. You may treat friendly ships at range 2 to 3 as being in range 1, which is pretty cool. And I'm not going to go, but let's just go through dormants. Dormant during the setup, friendly ships may be placed anywhere in the play area at range 1 and 2 of you, which is nice. I like that. But Pattern Analyzer does work with these three ships. Uh, I'm actually looking forward to the quad jumper. That's gonna be sick. I can't wait to actually get this ship on the board. I know Ryan, who's our scum extraordinaire here over at Play It Again, Concord, North Carolina, when we do live videos and streams and stuff. He loves Scum, and he's like looking so forward to this ship coming out. And I don't think we have a release date yet. I was actually trying to talk to the store owner. They haven't released any dates yet for this. I'm surprised they haven't, released it. Um, uh, Released it when they released the TIE Striker and the U-wing. And this is interesting too. Is like these ships have been out there since Force Awakens this time last year, actually even last month. So I'm surprised they actually haven't put that out there yet. All right, so this whole video was to kind of talk about Panel Analyzer and some uses and some of the things that you can do and cannot do, what ships you can put it on. Again, the T-70, you can also put it on the TIE FO, the TIE SF, the Upsilon class shuttle, and you can also put it on the quad jumper. So this is a very versatile card. Again, it's a tech upgrade for 2 points. You can't beat it. And again, when executing a maneuver, you may resolve the check pilot stress step after you perform action step. And again, I just want to make sure that if you guys have the link below, you can, for any of the conditions, if you guys have any questions on how this actually works, I kind of laid it all out. I hope I got it right this time, and we'll see if that makes sense. So somebody is saying, Robert is saying the 25th of this month, actually, the quad jumper and upsilon comes out. Ooh, nice, finally. I love it. All right, looking at the stream, I see a bunch of different, a lot of questions going back and forth here. Um, Vulcan says pattern analyzer on Ray with Kanan, Finn, and Title would be broken. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that would definitely be yeah. A lot of people are talking about Kanan and the whole pattern analyzer and the combinations and stuff. But yeah, so Ray, the Millennium Falcon does not have that tech upgrade slot. Zeke says it'd make Ray nasty with that sloop. Absolutely. Armando says PS9 Poe, so the Force Awakens or Heroes of Resistance Poe, with Lone Wolf, R5P9, Pattern Analyzer. You have an even worse Poe, and ATT's auto thrusters. Yeah, let's build that. Let's see what it looks like. So Armando says PS9 Poe, which we can do. Let's do PS9 Poe. That's the heavy duty. So he's got Lone Wolf instead of Push the Limit. Okay, so Lone Wolf. When attacking or defending, if there are no other friendly ships at range 1 or 2, you may re-roll one of your dice. R5P9, because that's the inexpensive Poe. Only 1 point, though, compared to R2D2. Auto thrusters and pattern analyzer for 42 points. Not bad, not bad. I like that. The only thing, see, with R5P9, I played R5P9 and I played the R2D2. The R2D2, I kind of like more. I don't know why. For 1 more point, I like the thing that if I end up doing a green maneuver, no matter what, I'm going to get it. The whole focus token, there's been times, I mean, if you have the focus, because if you get the focus token with his ability, actually that might synergize well with Lone Wolf because it's basically like a target lock ish. You can reroll one of your blank results, and then you have pose ability. So R5P9 might, if you have point wise to spare, maybe R2D2. So you don't have to worry about using the focus token. So if you still want it to boost, you can. So that's the only thing too is like if you do R5P9 and you don't do a focus token, it's almost like you can't boost because you're always going to be trying to get the focus token to help put a shield back or what have you. So that's why I like R2D2 sometimes, just as a help out. Let's see here. Armando, it says with the T70s with Pattern Analyzer, you actually get to do a Talon roll, right? And then an action as well, because again, Talon roll with the T70s, I love the Talon roll on a T70. You can do the Talon roll, do the Pattern Analyzer, right? Declare Pattern Analyzer, and basically you get your action first. So if you want to boost in, use a focus, use a target lock, what have you, or any other actions on any other cards, if you have any other upgrade cards, but then you actually get the stress after the fact. So that's huge too. And if you want, you can do the 1 bank and the 1 straight the next turn to help relieve that stress. To do the regular, the green maneuver stress, and you don't need to use pattern analyzer because you have to use the green maneuver to remove that stress, but then you get your action anyway. So but you got Lone Wolf on there, so Lone Wolf definitely helps out with some reroll ability. I love it. All right, so let's do this. That is, I think, the discussion that I wanted to talk about with pattern analyzer. I just wanted to help make sure I straighten out some of the discussion that I had. I said on the previous video what I said incorrectly, and I wanted to make sure that you guys laid it all out. Again, if you guys have any questions or comments, definitely leave it in the description below. But I'm just going to wrap this up. We were going to do 2 videos, but I couldn't get Blake on for the Tennessee regional recap. We had some phone connections issues with Skype. But what I did, I definitely wanted to do this video. So this is the other video. I don't have any other material ready for after this. So this is going to be signing off for the rest of the tonight. But if you guys like what we do, please subscribe to our channel. By you subscribing to our channel, it tells you guys like it, and we'll keep doing some more cool stuff. Also, if you guys want to support us, check out the token stores. The links down below. We actually sell a lot of different tokens for Destiny, X-Wing, tanks, a whole bunch of other games. And we're always coming out with some new stuff. Also, if you like t-shirts, we actually have a whole bunch of different designs. Again, all the links are in the comments below. And if you guys want to join our community forums, it's slingpaint.com, and you go to the community section, and you can join our forums and post up on the Listinator, and also become part of the Listinator challenge, our monthly Listinator challenge, where you can win your own free set of 20-piece X-Wing tokens. You can definitely do that as well. All right, that is it for me, guys. If you guys, again, have any questions or feedback, I'm always looking at the comments, and we're always replying back to you guys. But definitely hit us up on the forums, and definitely reply to this big thread that I have here with your some of your cool ideas and lists, or ship builds, individual ship builds for this pattern analyzer card. All right, peace, guys. Thanks, guys.